And hello, Iris. Chief, how are you?
Oh, I think he's still connecting to audio.
Hi.
Hello, Iris. Hello, John. How are you guys?
Good.
Hello, Chief. Can you hear me? Your audio's off, Chief. Turn your audio on.
Hello, everyone.
There it is.
Is that better? Can you hear me?
That's it? Yeah, I can hear you now.
You can hear me now. Okay. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
Ashley's got the main button, though, so if you start talking too much, she's the one that's going to cut you off.
Oh, is she going to cut us off? Huh? Then we'll be good to Ashley then.
Pam's got the power of the purse strings, and Ashley's got the power of communication.
The communication. I see Iris here. Hi, Iris.
Hi. How you doing, Clayton?
Very good. And hi, John.
Hi, Clayton. I found the unmute button. How you doing?
Doing good.
Good.
The officers were in your neighborhood just a little while ago. Was that barking dog again?
Oh, they moved the dogs. The dogs are gone Sunday. They moved out. They sold the house. It's
I see some some storage containers out front there, or
yeah,
garbage containers. Yeah.
cleaning up to do. New young couple, I hear, bought the place.
That's good.
Yeah.
From the city, John?
I don't know. I just heard from my neighbor about them, but I haven't met them. I don't know where they're from.
Sorry, Ashley.
Hey, Richard.
I'm cutting out again for some reason tonight. I don't know why.
Damn.
Uh-oh. I'll watch for you.
Okay.
Alicia, how are you?
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hello,
Hi,
Laura.
Hi.
I see the chief today.
Yeah, yes, you good. Bill brought me in.
Hey, uh-oh, we're in trouble.
No.
He might be in trouble.
Whatever it is, I didn't do it.
And if his bird starts squawking, the bird's in trouble.
Yeah. I'll bring him down. Put him in your office. You'll have a companion tomorrow.
Does he like
We already have
squirrels?
enough.
Does he like squirrels? He'll let you know if something's outside.
We need something to chase squirrels.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, a hawk or an owl.
Ah, wow. We have a hawk in our yard. I saw a hawk the other day. Huge, huge, huge bird. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And we see Ashley today. Lots of times Ashley is just a name. Town of Woodstock. There she is. Yeah. Oh, we have a quorum. It's not 7 yet, though. According
It's
to
not quite 7 yet. We have another minute or two.
Hey, there's Reggie.
There's Reg. So we're just waiting on Councilman Rose.
Is Jackie not coming tonight, Bill?
Oh, yeah, that's right. She's not on either. No, she's supposed to be.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. I would take notes for her if she wasn't.
If she doesn't click on, maybe you could just, you have a copy of the agenda there? Or
Yeah. Yep.
she might have forgot.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I can't text her though, because if she is trying to get on, she's using her phone.
Yeah.
She does know about it because we did talk about it today in the office.
Yeah. Yeah, she mentioned it.
It's almost 7. I'll give her one more minute.
There he is. Hi, Richie.
Hi, Chief. How are you?
Very good. How are you doing today?
Good.
Who called the police?
Oh, there's Laura. Boo, we've been looking for you.
Now you know where he is.
You know I love you, but that uniform does make me nervous.
He's not wearing a uniform. Do you have the squirrel, Lauren?
I do have the squirrel.
I could have used that the other day.
Actually, I think the squirrel's here. Start.
Yes. So I will call to order the September 8th meeting of the Woodstock Town Board. We have a full quorum. Still waiting for our town clerk, but Ashley can take some notes there. Just a quick announcement for the public. Public be heard. If you enter your name into the chat, Ashley will put you on. First 5 people to get into the chat will be heard, and that will be at the end of the meeting. I don't have any presentations, topics, or public hearings, so I'll cut right to the chase with some resolutions. And the first one is why I asked the chief here. He can talk to it after I read it. Be it resolved to authorize the supervisor to sign the Ulster County Emergency Response Team Agreement. Purpose of discussion. Do I have a second?
I'll
Second.
second it for discussion.
Okay. Chief? Actually, before you start discussing, I was negligent here. Let me just point out, we have Bill from the Daily Freeman. Nick Henderson is on from the Woodstock, or the, excuse me, Hudson Valley 1, and Felisa Kashik from Woodstock 104.1 FM. So we're well represented by the members of the press. So with that, Chief, I'll give you the floor about the urgent, or excuse me, the USERT agreement.
Yeah, we've been a member of the team for several years, and I find it to be very beneficial for the town, to have one of our officers, to be a member of the team. He trains every month, with the Ulster County Sheriff's Department and other members of law enforcement. And I know it's there's some cost involved, but as we seen a year ago with a barricaded subject, we needed help. The team brought 35 officers up, and spent hours on Glasgow Turnpike and securing a house and making sure everything was safe. And so the final outcome is our officer does help out elsewhere, but when in turn we do get help from the and as we seen and Bill, you were there 6 o'clock in the morning. The officers. I was amazed how many showed up.
It cost us a lot of pizza, if I remember rightly.
It did cost us a bit of pizza.
Yeah, but
I'm not sure that was ordered by the police department, though.
Oh, whoever, it was worth it.
It's good pizza.
They built an appetite up.
Yes. Yes. And the chief and I we were a little concerned, and chief doesn't know this yet, but I did reach out. There was one phrase in the contract that talked about the town supplying weapons as authorized, and that gave us a little pause. But any weapons has to be approved by everybody, the chief, the sheriff, and so on. So it's not like the town is going to be on the hook for buying bazookas or anti-aircraft weapons. So anybody have any questions for the chief?
Well, somebody mentioned something about there is a cost. So what kind of cost are we talking about?
You know, the biggest cost is just the training every month. The training ammunition for him to qualify. You know, you'll periodically with the sheriff's department. You know, at the range. You know, and he not only has two job duties. He's actually a sniper with a team also. He went for a special training for that.
So somebody from our police force is getting trained, is what you're saying?
Yes. Well, he's been trained. You know, he went through the basic training, but they just have their refresher training. You know, every month, and then they do go up north. You know, and train with other police departments for 1 week. It's usually in the springtime this year that they put it off towards the fall due to the COVID-19.
Right. Well, training sounds like a good cost. That's a healthy cost because training is usually a good thing. So that sounds good.
Chief, is this something that other officers, is there just one officer who has this training? Or is this something that's open to other officers? Or how is that particular officer chosen? If you can talk a little bit about that.
The officer showed interest in being a member of the team. He had to go and actually quite qualified to be a member. You know, so he wasn't just accepted and said so he had to go through a fitness test to make sure that he could perform carrying all the gear that they have. It's heavy. It's not just the best that we normally see with the other officers. It's a heavy duty carrier, and they could be sitting in a spot for hours. So it's not a position made for everybody. And we only open it up to full-time members, and this officer did show interest to be involved. He also works part-time with the sheriff's department on the dive team, so he's motivated to get it to be involved.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Whereas Woodstock Properties, Inc., AKA Millstream Tavern LLC, 114 Mill Hill Road, Woodstock, New York, 12498, is in compliance with the Alcohol Beverage Control Law, Section 64, Subdivision 2A, has notified this municipality of their intent to file application for a liquor license with the New York State Liquor Authority, and whereas this property is currently in compliance with all local laws and does not have any violations at this time, therefore be it resolved to waive in this instance the 30-day period to review said application and consent to the issuing of liquor license to the above named applicants.
Second.
Any questions? This is the golf course. There's a new entity coming into the restaurant there, and they're setting up to get ready.
You're not going to tell me they're going to have alcohol at the golf course.
You know, you might be able to get a beer or two.
Now I've heard it all.
I hear they might even have moonshine.
If it's marinated, it's not bad. Enough curry. Put enough curry on it.
Okay, so you might get what you wish for. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Be it resolved to appoint, be it resolved to move the September 15th, 2020 business meeting to September 22nd, 2020.
I'll second for purpose of discussion. Why are we deciding to move it?
Because this is the earliest the town meetings can be held during the month, the second Tuesday, when it falls on an 8th. And in fact, unfortunately, in those occasions, we don't really have all our bills, and our business meeting is to pay bills. And it becomes problematic if we had the meeting. I'm not quite sure why we never thought to move it before. We just suffered through. But, in fairness to vendors and also the departments, everybody, can get their bills in on time. It's stepped up a little bit. So I'm actually, in the future, I'll be doing this. I'll be paying attention. It'll probably happen twice a year where we move it back.
Okay, well,
So-
it's definitely easier for me to know early in the year as opposed to a last minute change because I schedule things
Mhm.
around when I'm
Got it.
available based on this being the second, third. So I'm okay with it and we'll work it. So what this means is that we should be coming to sign vouchers on the 22nd, not on the 15th.
Correct. It's just everything or that meeting gets pushed forward 1 week. So,
Yeah.
and I would say take a look at the calendar, and anytime that the town board, the first meeting falls anywhere from the 8th to say the 12th, probably I would make the same recommendation.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it'd just be good to, again, to have some more advance notice.
Yep.
I need to work things around because I did have a plan, but I'll need to work things around.
Okay.
I'll go through and change it on the town calendar as well, Laura.
Yeah, well, if you could send an email with the calendar, but if there's any more between now and year end, let us know, please.
Yep.
And also the other thing, Bill, that we should know is I know before we know it, we'll be doing budget, and then we have budget meetings. So the sooner we have those on the calendar, it'd be helpful.
So historically, what we do is, let me turn around and look at the calendar for a second. You guys will probably be getting we'll probably be calling for a special meeting October 1st or 2nd. That's a Thursday or Friday
Okay.
for presentation of the budget.
Okay.
And then typically it might get pushed to the following Monday. So one of those 3 days. And
Okay.
then typically the following week, Columbus week, is when we schedule meetings with the department heads.
Gotcha. Okay. Alrighty, and we like to do that. I know I have an 8:30 meeting every morning. So if we can start those 9:30 or later, it'll help me out.
Okay.
Okay.
All in favor for the resolution to move the meeting?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Be it resolved to appoint Michelle Warman to the Zoning Board of Appeals, term to expire December 31st, 2023.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Be it resolved to pay Highway Superintendent Mike Reynolds $3,500 for services to other funds for the year 2020.
Second for purposes of discussion.
Okay.
Can you just talk a little bit about what those services are?
So 2 or 3 years ago, we started to do this where Mike does above and beyond his duties as highway superintendent. He gets paid a set fee. He does not make overtime. He doesn't get paid for additional time, but he puts in a tremendous amount of effort for both water, sewer, and the general fund. And a number of years ago, we decided we would compensate him when he did that. So that's basically additional payment for above and beyond his highway duties. And it is in the budget. We budgeted for it this year.
Okay.
The reason we didn't add it to the salary, Mike's not going to be there forever, and the next highway superintendent, there's nothing to say that he has to do these things. So if we were to roll it into his salary, it's harder to reduce his salary than it is to give a
Stipend.
stipend or an additional payment.
Okay.
So that's what that's there for.
Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And this is one addition that's not on there, but I think I talked to a couple, and I know that I talked to the chair of the WEC. There's a gentleman, Bob Wolf, who's been to the last 3 or 4 environmental commission meetings. The committee is very taken with Mr. Wolf. He's got an environmental background. So with that, I will offer a resolution, be it resolved to appoint Bob Wolf to the Woodstock Environmental Commission, term to expire 12/31/21.
Second.
Okay. And
And
Laura,
I
I
just
know you
wanna-
were at the meeting. You might just,
Right, I've been to the meetings. I'm regularly at the pretty regularly at the WEC meetings, and Bob Wolf has been there several times. I know that he shows a great interest. I know that, just like you said, Bill, his background, his resume matches exactly what the WEC is looking for, and they're as excited to have him joining as he is to be there. He's been a regular attendee. And he just can't vote yet because we haven't put him on yet, but it's a perfect match, and they're very much looking forward to it being official.
I would also add there were a few other people who expressed interest, but nobody's followed through in contacting the WEC or attending any meetings. So anybody have any other questions?
Where are we missing again? Human rights and,
Human rights, and there's one on CSAC, although I still don't have a resignation, an official resignation from CSAC.
Okay.
I know that there was one of the members moved out of town or was in the process of moving out of town, but I've not received anything official from them. We do for CSAC, I have 2 or 3 people that have expressed interest in that committee. And the Human Rights has 3 vacancies, and I've got 1,
Oh.
2, 3. I've got at least 3, maybe 4 people that are interested in that. And I think they've only had conversation with one individual at this point. So with that, I will call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any board members have anything they want to add, discuss, talk about?
I got a couple questions, obviously, but if John wants to go first, I'll wait. It's up to you.
Well, we'll go to the board first. Go ahead.
Where are we with Tinker Street paving?
I believe that's supposed to be coming up at the end of September, is what I was told by DOT. I'll put a call in tomorrow and ask them.
You just don't want to bump into either the film festival there, so.
Mm-hmm. They're talking about, I think, a day or 2 at most.
Yeah, still.
But the film festival is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Do we have a date for paving? Okay.
And anything on our streetlights?
Central Hudson's got all the paperwork in order. They should be, I believe they've ordered the lights, and within the next month or so, they should be starting installation. I'll check on that schedule too. Yeah. Date for paving.
Now, we had talked about adding a light down by the pizza place in Silvio's. Was that in the budget? I can't remember.
No, that we can get them to look at. Do we have any other places that we are interested?
I don't.
Off the top of my head, I can't. I'd have to think about
Okay.
it.
Is this just for the middle of town or anywhere on 212 or?
No, it's the lighting district, but
Well, I mean, there are lights. There are lights
depends on
anywhere
picture.
through town.
yeah, it depends on where on 212 you're talking, I guess. Maria.
I think there's a rather large patch where there's no light heading towards Bearsville, but I'd have to look and see. You know,
Yeah,
give
but
you
we
more
like
of
we like it that way in Bearsville.
Yeah.
Certain
We try
grid-
to avoid
Better in the dark.
outside of the hamlet. We try to just hit the really busy or dangerous intersections, not all the intersections.
Okay.
For instance, we do have one up in Shady at Reynolds Lane. That's a bit of a nasty turn with cars coming down 212. So we've got one there. I believe there's one up on Mink Hollow Road. That for a long time, and I don't know if it still is, but there were the Trailways bus and a couple of the bus used to stop there quite a bit with people getting on and off. So there was a safety issue there. I don't know if that's still the case.
I know when we're turning onto 212, either heading towards Bearsville or heading into, Woodstock proper there, that there's dark patches and there are a lot of people that walk in between, pedestrians that walk in between Bearsville and the center of town. And sometimes it's hard to see them. So that's why I was asking.
Okay. Anybody got anything else? Okay. Maria Elena, also at some point we should talk. I got a lot of good feedback. It all came in a week or two about our program where we were reaching out and calling the seniors. So that might be something that we want to talk about continuing. And a number of the calls were from seniors who were getting the calls and were actually volunteering to participate, where, you know, we could call 10 people who call 10 people who call 10 people. So maybe in the next couple of weeks, we could sit down and think about what that would look like and how we might set it up. And, you know, then it gets folks communicating on a regular basis. So.
Yeah, I'd certainly like to continue some of the work I was doing prior to the pandemic. You know, I know we have to take kind of baby steps with it, but, you know, the whole kind of home sharing idea and making a pilot program for town, but we'll have to kind of wait and see on that one when it would be feasible. So.
Well, the housing committee, Maria Elena, would always be interested in talking to you further. So, on the home
Yeah, I
sharing.
brought it up at a meeting a few months ago. Again, this
Yeah,
was
you were there a
before-
while ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay.
If we're gonna be calling the elderly and decrepit, I volunteer to call Hebner.
But then he's got to call 10 people.
He can call me back.
You know why they stopped the bus up in Bearsville?
Why?
Well,
was an accident.
no, the tour of the Rose Estate just, you know,
Yeah,
just
right.
cracked up to what it used to be. So
Yeah, well, it's kind of like Graceland, you know.
But you're still with us.
Some say that.
with the gravy stains. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. All right, with that, I think I'll give the floor to John. You're up, John. Unmute yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Ashley, if you can share that screen.
Yep. Just give me 1 second.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Yeah, I put some data points on a chart, and these are costs that are public records that I have, and it starts back in April of last year when they signed the this is the library projected costs when they signed the contract with Chile. They had a cap of 5 million and Chile was 584,000. So the budget was 4.4 million. And then I'm tracking some points there. 6.9 million was Chile's first cost estimate. 6.0 million was a J.C. Alton cost estimate. 5.4 million. There haven't been many data points this year. There was one in April at 5.4 million. That was a J.C. Alton. And then at the end of the chart, which I can't see because now, okay.
Minimize yourself, John, and you'll be able to see it. Minimize the pictures.
I thought I did that. There,
Well,
okay, I've got it now,
September.
thank you. So toward the end of the chart, like I say, there weren't many data points, but suddenly August 12th, they said, we believe the building cost is 4.4 million. And they put the total cost at 6.995 and other costs. They finally accounted for the many other costs, which came in on August 12th at 2.6 million. And so I put in a FOIL request for a cost estimate that shows this 4.4 million because they haven't documented how they got $1 million out of the building cost since April. And I don't believe they have the documents. So I see a $1 million exposure there in the building cost, which would put the total project cost, in my estimation, around $8 million. I think it's $1 million higher than what they're saying. Again, these are all from their own, the library documents. So I just wanted to put that out there. And as many of you know, I have contacted the bond attorney with some of this information. I think we should all be concerned about the total cost of this project. Thank you.
Be like the county jail all over again.
That's not good. Okay. And I brought the chief on for two reasons. He did,
Can we take
discuss-
down John's? There we go. Thank you, Ashley.
he did contact me earlier today. Chief, if you want to just discuss your request or your possible requests with the board.
The workload for our uniform detective that's that's doing the job right now, it's becoming more and more labor intensive for him, and we're seeing a lot of computer crimes out there, and it's really difficult for one person to answer calls and handle all these calls on his own, and I'm asking for just an appointment of a uniformed detective for the evening shift at 3 to 11. So these guys wouldn't be working together, and he would if we can appoint a uniformed officer, to help out on the evening shift, and I think it would be greatly beneficial for the town of Woodstock.
What would be the cost?
At a salary of $50,000, it's a 6% stipend, so it comes to about $3,000 for the entire year.
Say that. I'm sorry. Say it again.
It comes to about $3,000. For the additional cost for you.
It's 6% of the salary, Richard. So depending on whether, one of our new younger officers, that would be around $3,000. One of the older officers with a higher salary, it could be $4,500.
Will this start immediately, or is this part of the next budget?
I'd like to start as soon as possible. Just to help out with our uniform detective that we have. At the department they'd like to have a full-time detective. We just don't have the finances for that, and so this is a way to help out the person that's doing the job, and and the larger cases we still turn them over to state police. The unattended deaths and sex crimes and the very large burglaries. If we ever get them, we do lean on to state BCI to help us with them. But they have a large caseload also. So if the smaller stuff we should certainly handle in-house when we can.
So what you're saying is you have a certain number of, and I've lost track of the size of your force, but you're saying some of the people are detectives. You want a uniformed detective. You've got officers, and maybe I'm not clear on who's an officer and who's a detective, but you're saying you just want to shift somebody who might otherwise work first shift and put one person who would have otherwise worked first shift on second shift, and then they would need the second shift premium. That's where the extra dollars come. So you're not really adding a member to the police, to the size of your police force. You're shifting when they would work.
Yeah. Well, we would certainly.
Responsibility with the shifting. Is that what? It's more so that.
Yes, I mean, the officers every 6 months they go out to bid for the shift that they want. So that's a contractual item. You put it, but the officers on a day shift are all the senior officers. So they probably won't change any. But the officers, it would be between the evening and the midnight. But it would be primarily the evening shift. That's where we need the help. So when activity comes in, and it does get very busy, and and for the cost of a few $1,000s, I think that's be beneficial to have another officer take that responsibility to help us out. Instead of waiting for the next day or waiting 2 days for Johnny Amoroso, who's our detective right now, to come back to work if he's off for 2 days.
So Laura, we are not hiring a new officer. We're not adding officers. We're simply giving a stipend to an officer to focus more, to really get down into detective work.
Okay, so it's an expansion of responsibilities for somebody who's already working that evening shift.
Correct.
It's an expansion of responsibilities.
And that's why it's only the 6% differential in his salary. It's not extra time. It's not, I mean, Clayton, we should be honest, there may be some additional overtime periodically if they're working a case and need to work beyond, but that could happen with a regular officer as well. I mean, your shift ends if you're in the middle of something, you don't necessarily close up shop and go home. you could put in some overtime.
But for the community, you have to safety initiative. I mean, it's important when a crime happens, you have to investigate it, as soon as possible. Instead of waiting for 2 days, maybe for a detective to come in, or we can call them in, and sometimes we have to, but if that costs us, the extra money in the full-time overtime, and so this might, in the long run, actually save us some money, by not relying on full-time overtime. If we have 2 people to absorb that, responsibility over 16-hour period, with our 24 hours.
Okay, so it sounds like if the cost for a year is 3,000 and there's about a third of the year left, we're saying the cost for 2020 might be about 1,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what I'd like to do is instead of making a permanent appointment, let's do it till January 1st and see if the community is if we can do it, see if they're happy with the officer that we choose, if it's working out.
Right. Well, so Bill, how are you feeling about the budget? Because I thought that we had some significant worries
Yes.
because with sales tax not coming the way, because of coronavirus, sales tax is not flowing like we thought, we'd have a bigger challenge for money coming in. Lauren and I, as you know, Bill, met today to talk about some water testing that may or may not, we haven't as a board discussed all this or even individually discussing whether or not we want to get some water testing done, but there would be an expense if we wanted the town to pay for it. So my worry is, I love supporting Chief Keefe because I have total respect for the department and great respect for how the chief runs the department. This is a year, however, when we're very worried about every penny, and we do have a water issue, it appears, in, out in the shady area of town. And if the town wanted to help with that, I don't know if we put money here, does that mean we can't do that? Where are we with the money right now?
I'm not prepared to answer that right now. I'm going into the budget. And actually, my recommendation is not to make a decision tonight on this, but, allow me another week or two. I'm just getting into the nitty-gritty of the budget now and would have a better sense of what we might be able to do.
But as you know, Bill, I'm one of the people that spend this money as
You're as tight as me, Clayton.
and I wouldn't even be coming to the town to ask for this. I understand the financial situation, but I feel to be fair to our community, and we do have more people in our town now. The people are not going back to the city. We're a lot of second homes are being occupied full time. So I feel that when they call for an incident, it should properly be looked at.
I will say I do agree with the chief there that to have folks waiting for 2 days and until someone can come out does seem like I would think people would have a different expectation in town that they wouldn't have to wait for 2 days until someone can come out and help them.
Yeah, and I agree with what the chief just said too about, I know my next door neighbor, who we talk about Airbnbs every now and then, my Airbnb next door neighbor sold to full-timers. People from the city are definitely coming, so I certainly agree with what the chief is saying about we have more people, because that's the word I'm getting is we have more people because people really are coming up here. So I appreciate that reminder, Chief, that yes, there's more of a need because you're serving more people.
I mean, in years prior, people used to go back to the city. They'd be here Friday, till Sunday afternoon. Well, that's not the case anymore. I'm finding where I live, and I'm sure you do too, Bill, because you live in the same area.
Oh yeah.
That people would. I'm still trying to figure out which houses they're living in, but but they're here for the summer, and maybe right on through, and they're not just weekenders anymore.
Yeah, Rose Lane's the same way. We're pretty much full time up here now. And I mean, we're very fortunate. We got a lot of good people up here, but we got a lot more of them.
If if you drive the secondary roads, there's a lot of traffic on the back roads, enormous amount of traffic.
There's also a lot of garbage, but people should remember that.
Yeah, I see the bear had takeout from the Dixon the other night.
Oh, yeah, that was quite a mess. Richard, did you have a question?
Yeah, Chief, just more procedural. How would the selection process work on this? Would everybody at the night shift be able to apply? How do you go about doing this?
What I would have to do is and it's in your contract with us. That I would have to post it at the police department and open it up primarily to the full-time members and have it open for a 7-day period to see which officers are interested in so literally I'd be asking for a letter of interest from any of the officers and it's not just a position that should go to any officer. It's got to be a
No, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, exactly.
That wants to take on that extra responsibility. So so I'd be looking very close at at not just somebody that would like to have the title, I mean, or the position. I want the person that's going to do the job.
Right. Okay.
All right.
So where are we? We're going to let this.
Let me, we'll bring this discussion back to the table in 2 weeks. I'll have a better sense of where we're at with money and where I think we're going to be by the end of the year. And then we can make a decision.
Anything on the police commission? Have we got that going yet, or?
Their first meeting is tomorrow. They've been given their reading materials.
They're not
Or
appointed
some
by
of-
the board?
Say that again, Richard?
We're not appointing, the board doesn't appoint?
No. It said the executive supervisor's appointment.
Okay.
But there's 8 members. If you guys have a recommendation for a 9th to round it off, I'm happy to entertain that. So,
We do have one board member. Reggie's on the board.
yeah.
Be there.
Okay. Anybody have anything else? Okay. That I will move for adjournment.
We could make Reggie a detective too.
There we go.
Is that a motion, Richard?
Detective
Yeah,
Errol.
yeah.
I like the ring. Detective Errol.
He'll work for free. He'll work for free too.
What do you think?
All
Steve?
right.
6% of a councilman's salary isn't so bad.
Yeah, come on, let's use our heads here. We gotta cut back.
All right, all in favor?
Right. I'll second your motion to adjourn, however. Bringing us back.
Yeah, I love Reggie, but I don't think I want him walking around with a badge.
You know what, Lauren? I'm gonna get a plastic badge and just come to your house.
I'll put my hands on the wall.
Stop right there.
Yeah, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night.
Hey, Bill, can you give me a call?
Yes, just remind me of your number.
246
Yeah,
3975.
Still on for some reason.
3975.
Yep.
You got it.
All right.
Call you in a few minutes.
All right. Thanks.
How was you? Thank you. Alicia, you're very welcome. Thank you for doing those notices. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, on my way.
Yes. And I will see you not next week, but the week after.
That's right, 22nd.
22nd. All right. Take care.
Okay, take care.
How were your minutes?
Good, I think. I think I got it all.
I wonder if Jackie's okay. I texted her, but
I was thinking the same thing.
I'll give her a call and see what's up. I'll let if it's anything bad, I'll call you. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Otherwise,
All
I'll
right.
see you in the morning.
Okay, see you then.
Tell her
Have a
Ryan
good
I
night.
said good luck with school.
I will.
All
I
right.
will.
Bye-bye.
Bye.